Hello Internet, today I'm going to be talking to you about another vehicle, another class of vehicles in brick rigs, known as the Super Heavy Tank. Now, Super Heavy Tanks, like their smaller counterparts, are pretty standard. Turret, gun, coaxial gun that fires when I click for some reason. Alright then. Tracks, or quote-unquote tracks, engine, and crew compartment. Pretty standard tank. The difference is, they usually have highly stacked guns. Now, if you don't know what a stacked gun is, in the Brick Rigs creator, you can put bricks on top of each other. So you could do this with cannons, as well as armor. Now, if I jump in my Tiger real quick, and I throw some HE rounds into it, you will see that nothing's falling off. That is the product of stacked bricks. You can stack bricks on top of each other to make them incredibly strong, and you can do the same with a gun to make it incredibly powerful. Now, you might have seen in one of my videos, one shot from a mouse vaporized a Sherman. That's the product of a stacked gun. But a lot of people pull their viability into question as a vehicle. One reason is they are really slow. Now, tanks in general are pretty slow in this game, but because these tanks are so large, they're very slow to accelerate, and generally don't get up to very high speeds. Now, this is really fast for such a heavy vehicle. Now, if I try to go up this hill real quick without falling through. They're also really bad at turning, as I know. As you see there, once it got to the top, it really started to struggle to keep going. And they tend to be really unstable when going at high speeds, because you have this massive turret on the top. Now, but there are a few benefits to these tanks. One, of course, is their really powerful gun and really good armor. But another one is, much to my surprise, is that they tend to be really good at crossing train tracks. So a really good strategy to win a conquest match, or not conquest, but like a war match in Sandbox, would be to put landmines across this bridge here, and several tank traps. Because a lot of lighter vehicles really struggle to get across. Get across the tracks. But if you cover the bridge in obstacles, you did a pretty good job of keeping your enemy out. Now, another good thing that these super heavy tanks do, let's just get rid of the building real quick, is that they're really good at crossing rough terrain. Now, I'm not talking like the desert mat rough terrain, I'm talking like these down bricks, which are struggling with, of course. Now that I try to make a video on it, it struggles. But anyway, generally they are really good at crossing terrain like this. That's because they're so heavy that they're not getting thrown around to lose parts. But their speed and lack of maneuverability really makes them very difficult to use properly, because you need to really funnel in your enemy into one spot where you can use them. And now, another issue with them is the engine. That was one AP round. And now if you go back here, the tank is dead. The turret still works, but you can no longer move. turning into just like a glorified bunker. And well, when you're in this kind of state, you might as well just bail and use your machine gun. Do you need to make so much noise right now? Bloody dogs. Anyway, AP shells are really effective against them. So you might be thinking, when would you put these tanks to use? And I believe you would put them, like, you would send in your smaller tanks, you would destroy a lot of their really heavy armor, and then you can bring in these tanks as like bunker busters to take out the heavier, tougher objectives. Or alternatively, you could use it as a defensive role. As if I jump out of my Tiger here and get into this, and we go back over to the city. If I spawn this in real quick, if I can line it up. Now, you see there, this takes up a lot of room in the street. Any larger tank would have a lot of trouble getting around this, especially if whoever is using it angles it such a way. Like this. So like, that's again my Discord notification. I forgot to turn on do not disturb. English is difficult today. So if they turn their tank like this, put their turret like that, no one's getting past. No one's getting past that. The best, what you're going to do is like shoot down a building and hope it lands on them. So like I showed how an AP round can take this tank out. So let's say you pull up an AP tank that uses AP rounds. You shoot the engine out. What good did that do you? So let's say it explodes just the right way and it kills the driver. So then you tell someone to go up there and move the tank, jump in the tank, move it, and then your tanks can move forward. You just destroyed the engine. You really need to go around. Which, again, is going to limit the size of tank that you can use to get around. It's also slower. And generally, if there's like a spot, if I wanted to defend, like, I don't know, this building here, I'm going to have defenses, like here, down this street, over here. Now I'm going to be defending each individual street and alleyway. Either that be just a few little bombs, a gun emplacement or something. I'm going to be defending it. So you want one of the main streets to get a big tank force through. But anyway, that is one instance of how they could be used. What else is there? I guess that's really it on points about super heavy tanks.